Hey, what's up everybody? It's Sean over at Team Snag and Whiskers. Hope everyone's doing good. If you will look over my right shoulder right here, you will see one of my favorite places in Italy. This is a picture that I took from my iPhone, I think it was an iPhone 6. No, maybe it was an iPhone 7 at the time. This is a little town in southern Italy called Vico Equince, down near Sorrento, one of my favorite places in the world. So I've got an upcoming trip planned down at Lake Gaston, and I went out and purchased a few baits for some striped bass fishing. So I'd like to take a few minutes and share some of the baits that I have for striped bass fishing. So the plan is to do a little bit of trolling and see if we can't catch some striped bass. I know this time of year, after October 1st, you're able to catch 4 fish per day on Lake Gaston, and they must be at least 20 inches or longer to keep them. So I bought 4 different things for catching striped bass, and I'll take a moment and share those with you. If anybody's watched Two Old Vets YouTube channel, he is the king of striped bass fishing, and he is not far from me. He's in Virginia, and he fishes down on Smith Mountain Lake. So if you get a moment, he's got some really good material on striped bass fishing. He does a lot of trolling from his pontoon boat. So the first lure that I bought was a recommendation from him that we had a little chat in one of his live feeds one day. I think it was one of his early morning fishing trips on Smith Mountain Lake. And he recommended that I get a Bucktail Lure. So that was one lure that I got. I got this Bucktail Lure here. It's kind of a gold colored bucktail. So this was the first lure that we purchased. So at the store, I was chatting with the guy that was the owner of the store. It's a local tackle shop here in the area. And I asked him, I said, what is your best lure for catching striped bass? If you're gonna do some trolling, what is the best lure that you can buy for trolling for striped bass? So he walked me around the aisle and goes, this is my #1 seller, and you just need to figure out the correct depth that your striped bass are at. You got to read your graphs and figure out what level they're at and know how much line to let out. So he gave me this fancy lure. It's got a couple of treble hooks on it. So pretty fancy little things. Got a split body on it, and it's got a little rattle on it. So I guess that gets the striped bass attention. So this is lure #2, and also known as the most popular lure at the tackle shop that I went to. I forgot to add on the first lure that I showed you, the buckhead lure. There was a recommendation at the tackle shop to also, you could put these on the hook, and it's called chicken on a chain. So he recommended putting the chicken on a chain on the actual hook, and that would attract the striped bass also. And the brand on these are Saltwater Assassin. And they are 6 inches long, and there's a 7 count in the bag. And once again, they are chicken on a chain. And last but not least, this was a recommendation if there was shad in the water. So I'm not sure if there's shad in the water down at Lake Gaston. If you know, feel free to comment down below. But the recommendation was the swim shad. So there's a pack of 4 swim shad. These are kind of red in color. They've got a clear body to them. There's 4 of them in the pack, and they're 7/8 of an inch. So these are the Calcutta flash foil swim shads. So we will give the swim shad a try also. Well, thanks for joining us for the different lures for striped bass fishing. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, feel free to punch that subscribe and hit that like button. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope if you ever get a chance to go to Vico Equince, you will remember that place. It is one of the coolest spots in the world. So thanks for joining.